Hello and welcome to the Children of Film podcast. This is episode number 5. That is our first milestone, and what a whopper of a show we've got for you guys tonight or today or whatever
whopper
time it is
milestone too.
when you are listening to this non-live podcast. But I'm here with my lovely, delightful, beautiful, radiant, charming, smart, slightly homosexual co-host Jaron Heron. How are we, mate?
Well, I would say slightly is a bit of an understatement, Jacob, but no, I am doing good, all geared up for the show. We got some great things planned, including our top 10 first watches of 2016, so not just 2016 movies, all first-time watches we've seen this year.
Movies we watched for the first time this year. We've been keeping a tally on that. Since we kind of want to do a bit of a year-end review sort of thing, but, you know, there's a lot of 2016 films that we haven't been able to see yet because they haven't opened here, so we're not going to be finalising our yearly lists for another month or two.
Yeah,
so
thanks,
let's dive straight into it with our opening segment. That is Diary Display. Just, gonna bit of a chit chat about the stuff we've been watching lately. Some of the last movies we've been watching. I guess I'll get started. This week I watched in the theater Office Christmas Party. It was okay. It's exactly what you expect. I watched the French movie Divines on Netflix. It was nominated for the Golden Globe for Best Foreign Film. I thought it was all right. I was impressed by the realism. The performances were really good, and the ending is a genuine gut punch. But ultimately, I feel like the movie didn't really work for me as a whole. There was a lot of stuff that I thought was really unnecessary, and I couldn't really get behind the characters. I rewatched Snowpiercer, great movie. What else can you say? It's awesome. I watched Die Hard on Christmas Day because you have to. It's the ultimate Christmas film.
You're not wrong. If you don't, you're basically a dickhead.
We're actually going to be discussing Die Hard a bit more in depth later on, so look forward to that. On Christmas Day, I also watched The Night Before, which is definitely being added to my Christmas film list. The Seth Rogen comedy, super funny. I really, really enjoy it. I'm not a huge fan of Christmas movies, which is why I prefer these actions and these comedies and stuff like that. But any Shane Black movie would also be acceptable as a Christmas movie. But on Christmas Day, I also watched Step Brothers because I don't know, it's funny.
All right. Any funny movie is a Christmas movie then.
Yep.
There's a Christmas scene in Step Brothers.
There's one Christmas scene where they sleepwalk and throw the tree onto their parents' bed, and then they throw their dad down the stairs and shit.
Yeah, one holds the body, one holds the legs, and they're like a rugby person.
And
that was fucking good. That's exactly how the dad sounded.
Pretty damn good. I rewatched, not on Christmas Day, but I rewatched Moon, which is one of my all-time favorite sci-fi movies, and I get that wasn't on Christmas, Jaron. I rewatched, and I get something, I get more out of that film every time I watch it, and I really can't wait to see Duncan Jones's follow-up next year, Mute. I saw Moana in the theater. I will probably have a review for that, but I will say I quite enjoyed it. It's one of my favorite animated films this year so far. I watched Train to Busan, the Korean zombie flick. I watched that yesterday. It is fucking awesome. Seriously, if you haven't been able to see this yet, watch Train to Busan. It is really, really great. It might even be my favorite foreign film this year. It probably is. I expected it to entertain me. I did not expect it to pull on my heartstrings the way it did. I think it's got a great story. There are some cliche characters and it's a little over the top and stuff, but for the most part, I've really, really enjoyed Train to Busan. Really, really great addition to the zombie genre. And I watched another acclaimed movie that disappointed me yesterday, The Fits, the indie movie that was it was very, very highly praised by critics and staff as this innovative movie, and I thought, while it had good cinematography and music, I thought it was such an incredibly empty film. There's hardly any dialogue in it. That works to its detriment. It really should have been like a 10-20 minute short. The story's not enough. It's 72 minutes and it felt like it was longer than Goodfellas. I really, really disliked The Fits, but to each their own. I get why a lot of people really loved it. It does have a good message, even though it's like, it's, I feel like the movie's not really worth it. But I've actually watched a fair bit, but that's it for me, Jaron. You have the floor.
Anyway, on the 22nd, gearing up for Christmas, I watched Elf, a Will Ferrell Christmas movie. So funny, it's just so lovable. It's a G-rated movie about an elf. He was when he was a kid, he crawled into Santa's he was at an orphanage and he crawled into Santa's bag of toys and he took him to the North Pole by accident. And then because he was at an orphanage and he didn't really have parents who was grown up there, and then once he's all grown up and he's 6'6" and he finally discovers when he's 30 years old that he's not an elf, he travels to LA to go find his parents. Such a heartwarming movie.
Fucking tall.
It's pretty dumb, but it's cute, and it will entertain any kid, and it's actually pretty quotable and funny. I then watched Denis Villeneuve's Polytechnique, which is a really short movie about a university shooting by a misogynist who thought all women were feminists and all women and feminists should die.
Didn't want him to take his jobs.
Yeah, it was really thought provoking. It was in black and white for some effect. I didn't really,
probably because they're low budget.
It's because Denis Villeneuve didn't want to show lots and lots of blood, because there's lots of blood, but it's all black. And he said that he did not want to show excessive amounts of blood in this small movie, so he thought black and white would treat it better and it wouldn't get an R rating, which it ended up getting anyway. But then The Edge of 17 I watched in the theater with my girlfriend. I thought it was really great.
Look at me, I have a girlfriend.
It didn't, yeah, well, it surprised me too. So, I gave Polytechnique a 3.5. I gave Elf a 3.5. The Edge of 17 I saw in the theater. I thought it was a really good coming of age movie. It's a John Hughes movie he would make if John Hughes was really, really raunchy. But I thought that even though it was really good, it was basically a culmination of every good thing about every other coming of age movie about teenagers and crap. It didn't really do anything new or innovative, but in saying that, all the characters were likable. The main chick sometimes was a bit whiny and unlikable, but it had a good moral and a good story, and Blake Jenner is fantastic, and Mrs. Kevin Bacon, I can't remember her name right now. She's in
Madeline
Brooklyn Nine-Nine, good show.
Kira
Watch it.
Sedgwick.
In Edge of 17, they're both really, really great, as is the main chick. Then on Christmas Eve, the 24th, I gave that 4.5. I watched Die Hard. You have to. Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, Die Hard is the movie you have to watch every year. It's the perfect Christmas movie, and we're going to be talking about it later because it just is. And it's an easy 5 out of 5 for me. It's in my top 25 of all time. Easy 5 out of 5 for me. It's got everything. It's the perfect culmination of action, of heart, of cheesiness, and one-liners, and just everything. And coolness, stunts, explosions. It's amazing. I also watched on the 24th for the first time. I watched The Nightmare Before Christmas. It's called Tim Burton's A Nightmare Before Christmas, even though all he did was write the poem for it. But I thought it was really good. The songs were fantastic, really, really catchy, and it started a new wave type of movies. And it's one of the first movies that were stop motion. I thought it was really good. 4.5. Then I watched on Christmas Day the night before. As you said, great Christmas movie. I prefer these ones to, general Christmas movies, these comedies, these action movies, and I think The Night Before is so funny, so hilarious, and also really touching in the end too. Jonathan Levine, who did 50-50. On the 27th, that's a 4 out of 5 for me. On the 27th, I watched another 4 out of 5 movie, Moana. One of my favorite, probably my second favorite animated movie of the year, just behind Kubo and the Two Strings. I thought it was really good. The songs were really catchy, especially How Far I'll Go and You're Welcome, the two best songs, and the leads were great, especially Dwayne Johnson. His charisma passes through the screen onto these animated characters. On the 27th, I rewatched Sing Street because I bought it on Blu-ray. Amazing film. One of my in my top 10 of 2016. 4.5 for me, easy.
But Jaron, you know what I can never figure out though?
The riddle of the model. Beat you to it, mate. Anyway, The Conjuring 2, I rewatched. I did a video about it. You can go check that out. I watched it late night, 12 a.m. Did a movie night for it. Made some popcorn. It's a fun time. Don't be afraid. Go watch it. Alright, and after The Conjuring 2, go watch it, I watched Star Wars The Force Awakens. Well, after something that we're going to be talking about later. But yes, I watched Star Wars The Force Awakens. I really had a hankering to watch it after Rogue One, and also rest in peace, Carrie Fisher. I just felt like watching it, Such a great movie. One of my favourite Star Wars movies, because, I don't hold the originals too close to my heart. I only watched them a couple years ago. But really entertaining, J.J. Abrams can bring any franchise back to life in my eyes. Jacob, should we move on to the news?
Oh yeah, it's not a whole lot of news, but just one story that makes me really, really happy. This was kind of rumoured and reported on probably about 6 months ago, earlier in the year, but we got confirmation, today, that Damien Chazelle's next project is a Neil Armstrong biopic titled First Man. I believe it's based on a book. It's being written by Josh Singer, who wrote Spotlight, so we know the script is in incredible hands. Spotlight has one of the best scripts of any movie in the last few years.
Didn't he also write The Cobbler?
No, that was Tom McCarthy.
Okay, good.
Cobbler. Yeah. But he made Spotlight, so, you know.
He did.
But,
the best and worst movie of that year.
Yeah, but, well, I don't know. I never saw The Cobbler. I can't comment to its quality, but I'm sure it's not good. But yeah, the big piece of news is the man, Ryan Gosling will be playing Neil Armstrong in the movie. The two obviously enjoyed working together, so it's cool to maybe we're seeing the beginning of a beautiful partnership, Jaron.
I hope so. This could be one of the great partnerships, like a Tarantino, Sam Jackson, or a Fincher, Brad Pitt. You know, this could be something really good.
Scorsese De Niro, or a Scorsese DiCaprio.
Scorsese DiCaprio, or a Scorsese Kate Blanchett, or a Scorsese Daniel Day-Lewis, or no, yeah, you know what? They started out with an absolute bang with La La Land, and if they could top La La Land somehow, I would be mighty impressed.
I mean, part of me is like, how the fuck can they top La La Land? I mean, not let alone with another music film, but with like a straightforward biopic. But
yeah, exactly.
Knowing Chazelle, the fact that he's moving into this, I feel like he is going to put his own spin on it, and I feel like it's going to be a really, really sharp film, and I'll be interested to see what he does with space.
Just think about this. Ryan Gosling, this year, I had The Nice Guys, he had La La Land. Soon he's going to be doing Damien Chazelle's new movie, and he's got something else on the horizon, bloody Blade Runner. The man's on fire.
The dude's got range. Like, he used to sort of be joked about as, like, you know, from Drive and everything, the guy, he doesn't show any emotion.
No, he was joked about
he has so much charisma, but even in quiet films like Drive, he has this silent charisma and this intensity to him, but at the same time, he's such a funny guy. He is absolutely hilarious in The Nice Guys. Like he shows a real knack for like physical comedy. And
an underrated film in Crazy Stupid Love. He's really funny in too.
Oh yeah,
get that straw out your mouth. It looks like you're tucking on a tiny
Are you the billionaire owner of Apple Computers?
Unless your name is Steve Jobs, you cannot wear a New Balance.
I wear New Balance shoes, so thanks for that insult, Gosling. But
so I'm gonna throw it off the balcony and make it land on a family.
It was also funny in the Big Short, as this, you know, a douchebag who knows he's a douchebag and just embraces it, and literally, yeah, that was a lot of fun. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, he's like, I got rich after this. You know, I never said I was a good guy.
Yeah, he's so funny. And you know, you may if you're getting confused about all these big words and shit, you know, I would too. Here's Margot Robbie in a bathtub to explain it for you.
Get the fuck out.
Now get the fuck out of here.
But no, the Goz is the man, so it'd be good to see them reteam. And I'm just glad that Chazelle has something on the horizon that we're going to see. They're going to be shooting in early 2017, so we'll probably be seeing the movie in 2018, which is good. You know, 2-year gap's not bad. And I just like if Chazelle knocks this one out of the park, he is going to become a force to be reckoned with because his first two movies.
But this one will solidify him.
His first two movies are literally among my all-time favorites already, so that's not a bad fucking start out of the gates for Damien Chazelle.
La La Land, definitely.
I'm very, very keen. I love them both almost equally, but I give a slight edge to La La Land. But I'll be talking about that more in depth at some point when we talk about our best of 2016. But
or we could go in M. Night Shyamalan and make shit from now on. You know, who knows?
Oh god, that would break my heart.
Yes,
that would break my heart. That would destroy me. But all right, we got to get real for a moment. The other day we lost Carrie Fisher, and it sucks. She had that heart attack probably Christmas Eve on the plane. She was reported to be in stable condition, but
cardiac arrest.
You know, she passed away. You know, I could make all the jokes I want, like 2016 is taking everyone, but really it just sucks. And her daughter Billie Lourd must be having the worst week of her life, because just yesterday or the day before, Debbie Reynolds, her mum, known for Singing in the Rain and all that stuff, like classic musical actress. I haven't seen any of them because I'm a pleb, but no, she passed away at age 84, and how the one day apart, like that is horrible. That sucks.
It's almost like she died of heartbreak or something. Seriously, like this is just devastating.
She had a stroke, I believe, but
yeah.
No, this really amplifies my need to go back and watch Singing in the Rain. Now, I was kind of after La La Land. I'm like, oh, I need to go see these old musicals, and now I got to see that. But no, I've heard she was a star. Debbie Reynolds, she was a star, and no, I mean, Carrie Fisher, known for Star Wars, but she was so much more than that. She was this really, really great outspoken personality. She was so honest. There's these stories of how she was a great script doctor. Like, she worked on a bunch of scripts in Hollywood, and helped, fix them and everything. Movies like Hook and stuff like that. She probably helped with some of the Star Wars scripts and everything. But, getting Star Wars, pretty much, she's always known as Princess Leia and everything. And it is this iconic character, and it was really cool seeing her.
She embraces it back too. She loves being known as Princess Leia.
The Force Awakens was really cool. She was great in that, and
looks like she's gonna have a very prominent role in Episode 8 as well.
I'm glad that she's finished filming for Episode 8. They don't have to do a Paul Walker at the end, but I'm not sure what they're going to do with her character. But that's not really important right now. I honestly, I'd rather them not CGI it. I think that'd be, I don't know. I just don't think that'd be very tasteful.
Well, it depends. It depends. They may have already killed her off in Episode 8 or made her retire or something. We honestly don't know what's happened.
As morbid as it is, I honestly hope that's the case. It would be the best way to tribute her.
Seriously, Disney know how to make films. I'm not going to speculate. I have all the trust in them that they will make it tasteful and respectful, and that we'll love the departure of Carrie Fisher in the series.
And then the movie's end credits will be like a Star Wars remix of "It's Been a Long Day."
They'll separate in different spaceships. But no, if Furious 7, a silly action heist franchise, can do a very tasteful and heartwarming farewell to Paul Walker, Disney and Rian Johnson and whoever's helming Episode 9, I forget their name, will be able to. It's going to happen.
I think Colin Trevorrow's doing Episode 9, so I don't know about that. I mean, Jurassic World was decent, but not great. So
Safety Not Guaranteed is fantastic, though.
Oh, yeah, and I'm looking forward to his next movie. He's gone back to an independent film doing The Book of Henry, starring two of my favourite child actors in Jaden Lieberher and Jacob Tremblay. I'm pretty keen for that movie.
In saying that, I do take it back about Furious 7, though, because James Wan was at the helm of that, and the man's a master.
Oh, no, Furious 7 was a really, really good send-off for Paul Walker. It was done well. I was just sort of making a joke there. But no, it was actually it was a perfect ending, I think. I mean, I don't really like the song, but in the context of the movie, it really, really worked. I'm just looking at news articles, and there's an article. It's like, Debbie Reynolds dead after Carrie Fisher, 911, 911, that's the number. 911 audio released. Who wants to listen to that?
What?
That's like, that would be stressful. Jesus. Like, can we give them some privacy?
Seriously, that's a bit far.
What? Fuck. All right.
God, that was horrifying.
Yeah. Do you have anything else to add here, or?
No, just R.I.P. It's truly devastating, and you can make the jokes about it as you want, but 2016 has been a very every year there's celebrity deaths that will be more.
Oh yeah.
But
I'm still hurting from David Bowie.
Oh, I'm still hurting from Alan Rickman too. David Bowie. Everyone. We've lost a lot of great talent.
My man Hans Gruber.
He's
robbing Nakatomi in heaven now.
Yeah, he is. To continue
may the force be with you, Carrie Fisher, Debbie Reynolds, and everyone else who has left us.
Everyone is. May the force be with you, David Bowie. Anyway, to continue the death train. I'm sorry.
I love that.
I'm sorry.
That's going to be a segment every week now. The death train.
Anyway. Alan Rickman also passed this year. That's one of my classic segues. Die Hard review.
The death train.
I mean, something good did come out of him. I got to do a classic segue, so
Yep. All right, that's one way to segue. Yeah.
Anyway.
No. We got to talk about. I mean, we didn't do a podcast last week because we were busy Christmasing. Although I will admit I did nothing on Christmas.
But our Christmas segment this week.
Movies.
Yeah, pretty much too.
Yeah.
But
so instead of doing an entire Christmas episode, we're just going to talk about our favorite Christmas movie,
which is jointly
Die Hard.
Die Hard. What else can it be?
We agree. Oh yeah. I mean, I don't like Christmas movies in general, I find them boring, which is why, why not just have a really great action movie that doesn't even need to be set on Christmas? Set it on Christmas. Voila, you got a great Christmas movie.
Exactly.
Gets you in the bloody spirit. I mean, there's nothing like a man in a tank top running around killing terrorists and stepping on glass to get you in the Christmas spirit.
Versus 12 terrorists in a hotel.
Just the way he likes it.
Exactly. That is the way he likes it. Tagline. Well done. I like that. This is the perfect movie. It's not also just set on Christmas. There's a lot of things. There's so many references to ho, ho, ho. Oh, now I have a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho. All of the stuff that goes on, the celebrations. He's there because it's a Christmas party, everything that's going on. There's, there's stuff every decorations and stuff, all that. It's a celebration, It's a celebration of the holiday. It's a celebration of a sweaty man running around, crawling through pipes. It's a celebration of action, and
spouting off epic one-liners.
It is pretty much.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Oh my god! The one-liner, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. Excuse me, sir. This line is reserved for emergency calls only. No fucking shit, lady. It doesn't sound like I'm trying to order a pizza. Like it's just incredible. It is the epitome of fun, cheesy, one-liner, amazing, heartwarming action movies.
It's one of the best action movies of all time, in my opinion.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
Seriously, every Christmas, you just sit down, you watch this. It's not just a Christmas movie. It celebrates the holiday and gets you into the spirit because there's so many Christmas pop songs, and also the whole soundtrack is pretty much Christmas songs. So it subliminally gets you into that as you're listening to it as it goes along. Yeah. And
now that I've regathered my train of thought, I just want to talk about how great the villains are in this movie because they're humanized. They're human beings. They're evil, and it's like, everyone thinks they're terrorists at first, but then they come in, they're actually roaming, and they're smart, The villains don't, aside from maybe a couple of them being a bit brash, they mostly don't make any stupid decisions, and they mostly know what they're doing, especially Hans Gruber. Like, I love the part when he gets found by John McClane, and he's like, pretending to be an American. Oh, God, please don't shoot me.
Please don't shoot me. Oh, you're one of them,
what's your name, pal? Clay.
Seriously. He is, but the thing is, and what's so compelling to watch is John McClane is always one step ahead of them too.
Yeah, gives him an unloaded gun.
Sure, and one thing that no one else has ever done since, because they don't want to be copying Die Hard, those people, shoot the glass. He's running on, who thinks of that? It's such good attention to detail and good filmmaking to think of that stuff.
And that's important because the hero needs to have that really vulnerable moment. The hero
gets beat up
has
so
to be
much.
Down and out and fucked, and that's what makes their triumph the best. I mean, in action movies, the hero is pretty much always going to prevail. Yeah. But what makes it great is the journey, and when they hit that lowest point, it's really,
seriously,
really
you
great.
don't want a villain who's just... you don't want a hero who's got no... Like Lucy in 2014, nothing could touch her. She beat everyone up she touched. In this movie, John McClane gets beat up, man. And that scene where he crawls into the bathroom and his feet are all cut up and they're bleeding, and he's sitting there and he's talking on the walkie-talkie, and he's like, I don't know if I can do this, man. I think I'm out. And he's pulling the glass from his feet. Like, it's brutal to watch. And that, as you said, it makes his triumphant so much better.
In that scene, his relationship with the cop outside, what's his name? Al? Yeah, fucking big
Welcome
Al.
Welcome to the party, Al.
But no, when he's in that scene, and when he's pulling the glass out of his feet, and Al's like, hey, we got a pool on you going down here. Yeah, hey, what kind of odds am I getting?
Chuck me down for 20.
You don't want to know.
You don't want to know. But that's also
Put me down
when you
for 20,
learn...
I'm good for it.
You know what's amazing?
Yeah.
It's amazing how Al and John are such good partners, and they never meet face to face until the end of the film. But their partnership feels
have
real.
Such
There's
chemistry
between them, and they're just talking on a fucking radio.
Yeah. I love their friendship. They're
this is when Al gets fleshed out too.
With their kids and everything.
Al gets fleshed out too when you find out that, spoiler alert, it's been out for almost 40 years, that Al shot a kid, and that's why he's a desk jockey now. He doesn't go out on patrols.
Yeah. But, he's still a smart cop, and he's there, and I just love, the movie has just the right amount of cheesiness as well, like with the dumbass FBI guys and everything, like, I'm in charge here now.
Yeah,
and then,
so
like,
funny.
the FBI agent's like, I'm Agent Johnson, this is Special Agent Johnson, and then they just go up in the helicopter and get
I went to
fucking blown
college,
up.
dickhead. Yeah.
It's just like in Saigon!
Oh, I went to college, dickhead. I'm Johnson, this is Special Agent Johnson, no relation.
Yeah,
So funny. Even the one-liners John spouts, they're just cheesy as hell, but they're so great to watch.
Oh, yeah.
Easy 5 out of 5 for me.
We'll get together, have a few laughs.
Yeah, meet up at the coast, come together.
And then, how about Argyle?
Ah, yeah. Argyle.
Big Argyle, the champion.
He is the man. Like,
yeah,
seriously.
just chilling out there in his limo. Like, what a legendary limo driver, just waiting there to see if he scores. Like, what a
What'd
legend.
you do?
Like,
What'd you do?
Old one
Sleep with
Argyle
some
to
other
be
guy?
my limo
She
driver.
beat you up?
But and I just love the little moments with the villains, like when they're guarding the door when the FBI guys are storming it, and the one guy just takes a candy bar and starts eating it. Like,
Yeah,
he looks around to make sure no one's watching. He just takes a candy bar.
Just stuff like
And
that. It
love,
literally humanizes them. They're not robots just doing
Yeah.
stuff, He wants to eat candy. He's a guy.
I love the hacker guy. He was really funny.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
He felt kind of like second in command to Hans Gruber, and he was like, he was basically running, like doing everything they needed to get the money. And I loved some of his lines too. He's like, "'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring." Except the 4 assholes coming in from the back. Standard formation.
It was, yeah. What about when, like, just a little bit's like when John's running, he's like running away from a terrorist, and he runs past like a nudie magazine posted on the wall, and he just touches the boobs and keeps running. What a legend.
Yeah, very, very Christmassy. But no, how about the cokehead guy, Ellis?
Oh,
Come on,
man.
I
When
can
he
help
comes
you.
in,
I
he's
get
like
it. Just
wiping off his hands. Nothing.
that shit eating grin on his face when he's like trying to get John to give up. Like, he's
Dude.
like, oh, fuck you, man.
Just, yeah, he's like, yeah. Check out the watch. No, I don't have to. Come on, what are you, embarrassed? It's a Rolex. What a fucking douchebag.
It is a Rolex.
It's a
he's a
Rolex.
dead settler.
And then I love,
like, John just
actually,
knows he's doing it. He's like, you missed some.
Yeah, it's actually really poetic how she had to let go of him as well. When Gruber's holding onto the watch as he's falling out, and they had to let go of the watch, and that's how they got him to fall too.
Rest in peace, watch. But no, yeah,
Rest in
and
peace,
I love Gruber's death scene. He's like fighting him and everything, and he's like, hey, I'm gonna pull you up. And then when she unlatches the watch, you see fear in his eyes.
Seriously,
as
that
he's
is acting.
falling.
It's his very
He's
first
like,
feature
oh,
too.
Shit. Yeah, no, Alan Rickman is the fucking man.
So good. He's such
one of the best
a good
all-time movie
villain.
villains.
And he's
Super smart.
definitely one of my favorite all-time movie villains. And what was I going to say? And what's iconic as well that I can't believe I forgot to mention, when he's there and he puts his hands behind his head and he's got a fucking gun taped to his back and he pulls it out and shoots him.
Yeah. Yes.
Legend. That's in Brooklyn Nine-Nine too.
loves
Watch it, good show.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker! But now, like, and then they just ruin it in the 5th one where he's a superhero. And I'm pretty sure in the 5th one, it's PG-13, so they have him say Yippee-ki-yay, Mother Russia or some shit. And
Oh, no, that's the TV cut of the original. It's so famous.
Oh,
in the
I
TV
haven't
cut,
seen.
he's like,
See, I haven't seen any of the sequels actually. I know
they're all PG-13 though. Oh, well, in America, Die Hard's
the first
R, but
one.
here it's M.
The first one's not. No,
It's
I
M.
thought it was MA here.
No, it's
fair
M.
enough. Ooh,
It's a pretty,
but
it's a pretty violent M. Like, there's lots of boobs, there's swearing, there's lots of blood, like lots of blood. It would be MA if it came out
back in
today.
the 80s. Yeah, back in the 80s, movies got away with a lot more shit.
Definitely.
But that's Die Hard. Really, you all know it, you all love it, and next time you're looking for something to watch on Christmas, look no further than Die Hard.
Just watch it. It's amazing.
Yeah,
Gets better
Obviously
every rewatch.
obviously gets a 5 out of 5 from yours truly.
Definitely easy 5 out of 5.
Yeah, I mean, easy. Nah, maybe 4.9. No, I'm joking. It's fine.
No, maybe 5.1 out of 5.
All right,
5 out of 10.
Let's keep trudging forward. We're gonna quickly roll through our You're welcome.
Nice.
We're gonna roll through our film swap. Each week we give each other a movie to watch. Something we've been wanting to get the other one to watch, or just something we feel like talking about. Usually it's just an excuse for the two of us to make each other watch movies we've been bugging each other to get onto for months. But I'm gonna let you go first because the movie I gave you was one of my favorite movies from this year. It's a Spanish movie called Truman, and I don't know anyone else who's seen it, so I'm like, yeah, Jaron, you gotta watch it. I need to know what other people think, but I personally love it. But I'll let you speak.
Yeah, thank you. So Truman, basically, it's the main character Julian, and he receives an unexpected visit from his friend Thomas, who lives in Canada, and the two men, accompanied by Truman, Julian's dog, they basically, it's not really about anything, they walk around, they share emotional and surprising moments, prompted by Julian's complicated situation, since he has the big really
cancer.
He has the big.
It's
cancer.
not a spoiler.
No, he has cancer, and basically it's them just going through, it's basically it's basically Julian paying for everything, Thomas paying for everything, so Julian he can go around and say goodbye to everything he loves before he inevitably dies of cancer, and it's really heartwarming, and, there's lots of, it's basically a series of lots of conversations and interactions with different people, doing different things.
There's all dialogue.
Trying to give his it's minimal dialogue. It's just a lot of
No, it's all dialogue.
Yeah, that's what I meant. It's basically it's all talking. If you're looking for action scenes, stuff like that, don't come here. This is all talking. It's a really talkative movie, and it's really deep. It's really emotional. And the whole thing, it's a very delicate storyline, and it doesn't get very over dramatic most of the time, and it basically walks that line really, really well, and I enjoyed this a lot.
It has a sense of humor.
It does. It definitely has a very dark sense of humor, but a sense of humor indeed. I really enjoyed this. I thought it was great. Sometimes to me though, it just got a little bit boring. Obviously, I love talkative movies as well, but like 12 Angry Men, all talking, one of my favorite movies. But I don't know, sometimes I just didn't love these characters enough, or the dialogue wasn't just enough for me to connect to it and stay really interested. But I did think that it was a very well done movie. It's around the middle of my list all the year, towards the top half, because it is, as I said, it's still a 4 out of 5 movie from me. I'm giving it 4 out of 5. I still really enjoyed it. But no, if you're looking for a movie about two friends, and basically it's just a series of conversations and interactions, look no further than this. It's really heartwarming, and that dog is amazing. I love Truman. I want him.
Yeah. What's sad is the dog passed away not long after they finished filming it. So the actors were really sad during the press tour and everything.
Yeah, definitely.
But no, I love it. Just without spoiling anything, what'd you think of the ending? I personally really, really loved it.
Yeah, I basically saw it coming. I knew that it was
you start to see it coming in the last 20 minutes.
But when it happens, it is really emotional, and it's so good how the other character deals with it, and he's just like, yep, and I'm like, it's perfect. I really enjoyed the ending.
Yeah, so that's Truman. Definitely one to check out if you're looking for something to watch. I highly recommend it. But Jaron, what did you give me?
This week, I gave you something you hadn't seen in a long time. It's one of my favourite movies.
Well, something
of all
I'd never
time.
seen.
You may see it. Something you've never seen. One of my favourite movies of all time. It's going to pop up later on in the show, and it's basically a classic, Martin Scorsese's Goodfellas. Jacob, take it away.
Yeah, I'd never seen Goodfellas. I've had it on Blu-ray for a long time. I've been putting it off. I actually watched half of it probably over a year ago, and I fell asleep. I was really tired that day, to be fair. But I sat down, watched the whole thing. I'm a huge Scorsese fan, and prepare to get angry at me, but I didn't love Goodfellas. I know. A hush falls over the room. But, alright, Goodfellas about Henry Hill, played by Ray Liotta. Great performance. That has to be said right off the bat. Everybody in this movie is fantastic.
It is an
like Joe Pesci.
That Ray Liotta was not nominated for this.
Yeah, Joe Pesci, man, he won. Like, well, I'm a funny guy. What, you think I'm funny? Like how I talk? What, I amuse you? He's a bloody wild card throughout that whole movie.
Yep.
He's bloody crazy. De Niro's great back when he actually gave a shit about his movies. And all the bit players are great, everyone. But yeah, Ray Liotta plays, it's a true story. He plays Henry Hill, this guy. He's, as far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster, and he rises his ranks through the gangster world. And it's pretty much a story of like betrayal and gangsters. It's like, yeah, it's a great gangster movie. I didn't latch onto the story, if I'm being honest. I'm sorry. I can't articulate my thoughts that well. I don't have some grand criticisms to lay against it. It's one of those movies where I just was a little bored by it. I wasn't really that engaged with the characters or the story. There were some great scenes here and there. There are a lot of great scenes. I mean, Scorsese's the master behind the camera, so the whole film looks great. The music's great. The choice of songs are really fantastic. I love his use of freeze frames. And when Ray Liotta breaks the fourth wall toward the end, it's really great. And there was some great, that tracking shot through that bloody club. It's incredible. It was groundbreaking at the time.
I'm pretty sure they got to film.
They got it in the first or second take or something.
Yeah, it's incredible. They set it up and shot it, and it was done. It was amazing, and it's 8 minutes.
Yeah, and the second half it turns into him being sort of paranoid that he's going to get whacked and everything, and people start getting killed left, right, and center. It's people covering their tracks and everything, and it's just a very realistic look at life in the mob and the highs and lows that come with it. I just didn't find the characters or the story that engaging, but it is a very masterfully made film. It's just, I don't know, it didn't hit with me like a lot of other Scorsese movies have. I don't know what else to tell you, but, that's Goodfellas. I'd probably give it a 3.5 out of 5. It's, as a film, it's a perfectly made film. It's just not one that I could really enjoy or one that I could see myself watching again. Don't know why. That's just how I felt. I'm a huge Scorsese fan. I feel like I'm justifying. I feel like I'm trying too hard to justify myself. But you know what? Fuck you, Goodfellas. 3.5 out of 5. Liked it, didn't love it. There we go. That's our film
one thing
swap.
You can have to say, even though you didn't love Goodfellas, is that Martin Scorsese is the master at gangster movies. No one better.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Francis Ford Coppola, really good as well, but Scorsese for me just does it.
Yeah. And yeah. I mean, gangster is in the traditional fucking mob, the Italians, their suits and their hats.
I mean, The Wolf of Wall Street's kind of a gangster film too.
Wolf of Wall Street is Goodfellas. It's the same type of storytelling, really.
Yeah,
I just find Wolf of Wall Street a lot more fun, and the characters. But that's just me. But yeah,
well, it is a comedy. Goodfellas isn't a comedy.
Yeah, exactly. It does have some pretty funny moments though.
Oh
yeah. We'll probably count down our top 5 Scorsese films at some time or another, maybe when we've seen some more. I've actually only seen 7 of his movies. I definitely need to watch some more of his older ones, like Mean Streets and stuff like that. I think he did Cape Fear. That was on TV the other day. That's meant to be good. But I definitely need to catch some of his older stuff. But
anyway,
let's move on from that. We got 2 countdowns, a top 5 and a top 10.
Countdown's my favourite show. My favourite part on the show.
Our weekly top... We don't know each other's list before going in, and it's our weekly top 5 countdown. And in honour of Moana finally opening here this week and us getting to watch it, we are going to be counting down our top 5 Walt Disney animation movies. So this doesn't count Pixar. This is Disney's animation movies, so no Pixar, because if it was Pixar, Studios. That'd probably be the whole list. But so we're gonna...
It's not fair.
Yeah, we're going to get stuck into that. Jaron, I will allow you to go first.
All right, starting off at number 5, I have a couple honourable mentions. First of all, I just want to throw out there Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, probably the very first one to start it off. I don't love it. I don't connect to it as much because, it is really old. It's really dated, you can tell, but it started it all off. It has to be on there. Big Hero 6, one of the more recent ones. I really enjoyed it. And Emperor's New Groove, one of the funniest animated movies I've ever seen. Kronk is amazing, and I love this movie so much. But my number 5 is coming off is The Little Mermaid. Now, The Little Mermaid, I used to laugh. I'm a guy. I love Little Mermaid. Whatever. It's a fantastic movie. It's by Ron Clements and John Musker, the absolute masters. It's got such a good cast. Oh, it's so heartfelt. It's such an iconic story now. They told it so well. Sebastian the Crab, one of the best animal sidekicks of all time. Flounder's good too. But, it's such a heartwarming tale. People pick it apart now, but, when it came out, it was the shit. And still now, it is the shit. The Little Mermaid, such a good movie. Jacob, what's your number 5? The songs are great too.
Oh yeah, big time. Alright, so yeah, a lot of my picks in this list are going to be drawn from nostalgia because, I haven't seen a lot of these in a long time. It's mostly ones I watched as a kid. But, let's get into it. Yeah, definitely. These are great movies and ones that I have loved and could probably watch again today if I had them or felt like it. But I got 2 honourable mentions as well. One is, as you said, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I've watched this a few times. I actually watched it a lot when I was a kid. It's a classic story. We all know it. It's great, and it was really groundbreaking. It was really when did it come out? 1930s,
1939 maybe.
Yeah, it's so great. It was really groundbreaking with its use of color and everything like that. Oh yeah, many. There have been many. And my other honorable mention is Lilo and Stitch, the movie set in Hawaii. I really, really love that movie.
Such a great movie.
I do. You have no idea. I watched that every week when I was a kid, and Stitch is so adorable, and it's a really, really great look at Hawaiian culture and everything, and the characters are great. It's really funny. Yeah, I love Lilo and Stitch. Didn't really care for the sequels, but
it is so funny. I never even watched the sequels. The first one was good enough for me, and it has such a great message with family. Mahana, whatever it is, means family. Family means no one gets left behind. Yeah, that's the one. Family means no one gets left behind. Such a great message.
Or forgotten. My number 5 is your number 5, Jaron. It's The Little Mermaid. Mostly pushed it above because of the songs are so great. Under the sea. Under the sea. There was a great joke. I mean, I don't know. Did you see the end credits scene of Moana?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a great reference in that to The Little Mermaid, and but I won't spoil what that is.
There's actually in the You're Welcome scene when he's singing, and there's fish dancing in the background. Flounder is one dancing in the background for a brief couple of seconds too.
I saw in the credits there's a Wreck-It Ralph drawing or something as well. Yeah, but no, Little Mermaid, as you said, it's the great characters. I mean, it's a little dated in its ideals and everything. Some of the characters aren't that great, but it's still a classic movie, and just the craftsmanship involved and the music, and they're remaking it, and I'm a little worried, but at the same time they've got a great team. Dropped out. No, yeah, they don't have anyone at the moment. But dude, on the music, right, they've got Alan Menken, who I'm pretty sure, did he work on the original?
Yes, and he did the Sausage Party song.
Yeah, and Lin-Manuel Miranda, who is a genius and did the music for Moana, which just came out.
I think he won for Best Original Song for The Little Mermaid.
Yeah, who would you cast as Ariel in the remake? That is tough, actually. Well, I don't know if I can think of anyone good off the top. Yeah. I mean, you kind of just instinctively think of redheads, but it's hard to think of who would actually be good for the role.
Seriously, if she wasn't playing the beauty, maybe Emma Watson.
Yeah, no, I could definitely see that. Yeah,
she was a.
I don't know. I don't know about Beauty and the Beast. I'm not that excited for it, but we'll see.
Also, Alan Menken was nominated for Best Original Song, and he won for Best Original Score.
The man. All right, your number 4, Jaron.
My number 4. All right, again, it's my number 4. I'm just going to go straight into it. Is Beauty and the Beast, the very original.
I've actually never seen it.
Oh, I used to love this as a kid. I had it on VHS. I used to watch it all the time. It's such a great movie. Even when you go back and watch this, as some are outdated, this isn't even outdated, you know. All the messages, all the things that happen, they're still relevant today. You can still watch it and find, resonance in it. You can still relate to these characters. It's really, really amazing. I absolutely love this movie. What was I going to say? Cogsworth, Chip, all the little characters are amazing. Gaston, no one talk. The Gaston song is incredible. All the music's in this. You're going to hear that a lot. But Disney are the masters of animated musicals. No one better. Bobby Benson as the Beast is fantastic casting. Some of the best casting in the whole movie. But also Paige O'Hara as Belle as well. You can't go far. But it's just so it's masterfully directed. It's masterfully scored. The animation is absolutely gorgeous. It was the most beautiful animated movie that we had seen when this came out, which is how beautiful it was. It took everything to a new level. It's a Disney classic now. As we said, it's getting remade. Just talking about this makes me want to watch it again, man. It is such a fantastic movie. This is one that if I'm going to have kids, they have to see, because it's just part of the Disney, novella of perfect movies. Beauty and the Beast, 5 out of 5.
Right on. My number 4 is one that you've already mentioned. It's The Emperor's New Groove.
Yes, I love it.
Yes. Yeah, some people might be a little perplexed by the choice, but honestly, again, I watched this all the time as a kid. I actually watched it maybe like a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I watched this like a year ago, and it honestly held up. I think it is so funny. The whole chemistry between bloody Kronk and Yzma.
Oh, Kronk and Yzma, man. They are two of the best villains in any animated
Pull the lever,
movie.
Kronk. Wrong lever! or like when...
Yeah.
Hey?
Yeah, keep going.
When he's trying to like poison Cusco or whatever, and he's sneaking around and he's like doo-doo-doo-doo, and he gets spotted, and he just sticks to the wall and he's like,
for Cusco. The poison chosen specifically for Cusco. Cusco's poison.
Cusco's poison. Yeah, no, and it is hilarious.
Hey, you guys were behind us. How'd you get here first? I don't know. Tell him, Kronk. I really don't understand. It makes no logical sense. Gets me every time. And Kronk's Angel and Demon, so funny.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation. How Cusco is just this arrogant douche, but he learns humility in the end, and it's got a good message. And I love The Emperor's New Groove. Underrated movie, I think.
The devil, that guy's got a good point, but check out what I can do. He does a handstand, and Kronk's like, I don't really see how that's relevant. The angel's like, nope, he's got a point.
God,
so
that
good.
movie is funny. All right, you're number 3, Jaron.
My number 3 is someone that people may also be perplexed by, because it's more of a, it's more of a recent one. But my number 3 is Wreck-It Ralph. I think Wreck-It Ralph...
I'm gonna wreck it!
It is easily the greatest movie revolving around video games that exists. It's so good. John C. Reilly is absolutely perfect as this character. He's so he's so vulnerable. He's also really demanding when it needs him. He's just so good. The characters in this, even the original characters like Ralph and all that are so good. King Candy. You got Vanellope. You got Felix. There's also a lot of cameos at the start, especially by Pac-Man, Eggman, stuff like that. Sonic's in it for a bit. It's just such a story about a guy. He doesn't want to be a villain. He likes being the hero. He's sad. He lives in a dump. Everyone else he literally lives in a dump, like a physical dump. Everyone else lives in like high mansions and stuff, and he doesn't want to be a villain. He doesn't want to be treated. He wants to be good, and in the end, he doesn't become a hero and star in a new game or whatever as you think it would go. He learns that being a villain, people need villains. Heroes need villains to be heroes. Everyone can't be heroes, and as he said, I am bad, and that is good. There's nothing bad about being good. There's nothing. Whatever. I completely butchered that, but there's I am bad, and that's a good thing, as he says. And it's just such a great conclusion that children can come to, that the movie comes to, and it's such a heartwarming tale. Such a great movie. I cannot wait for the sequel. Jacob, your number 3. 5 out of 5, easy.
My numero 3 is one I haven't seen in quite a while, but I think it's a really fantastic, and it was an important movie for Disney, and that is Mulan. Now, Mulan is the... You've never seen it. You should get on that. But Mulan is the story of this tomboyish girl, and it's like Chinese, and she wants to fight in the Chinese military against invaders, and with the help of this dragon played by I
Murphy.
believe fucking. I'm just looking at the cast. And it's great. There's so many. Like most of the cast is Asians. Like this was one of the most groundbreaking movies for Disney in terms of like their progressiveness and everything, and what they're going into now. Obviously, like they're really, really great at showing all these other cultures. But Mulan is so good.
It was one of the first,
she joins the army. And, disguises herself as a dude, and then, like, a General Shang's a bloody badass, or Captain Shang, whatever his name is, and stuff, and, she ends up becoming a hero and showing them all that she's a fucking badass, and, Eddie Murphy's great as the dragon, and this also has great songs, like, I'll make a man out of you, like...
I've heard that song, too. I didn't even know it was from
Mulan. It's a great freaking movie. I highly recommend it if you've never seen it. It's another one that I watched a lot as a kid. Came out in 98, so it's not that old. Damn. And they're remaking this one too. I just hope they don't fuck it up. Dude, but like they're doing a live action remake. Mushu's gonna look really weird in live action. That's all I'm gonna
picture that. Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know what they can do about that, but yeah. Anyway, number 2, Jaron.
My number 2 stars the single greatest voice acting performance of all time, and that is Robin Williams in Aladdin. I think Aladdin is absolutely amazing. Again, I used to watch it all the time on VHS. Aladdin, Scott Weiner, Robin Williams, Linda Larkin. It is so good. Jafar, one of my favorite animated villains, just villains of all time. He's got a really dark sense of humor. Abu, Iago. I'm surprised you read a fellow. I was calling you the parrot from Aladdin. It's just so... Brooklyn Nine-Nine, watch it. It's such a good tale about this kid, and, he's not a kid, he's like a young adult, and he's basically a street rat, he doesn't have parents, and he wants to become a prince, and he finds a genie, lets him out as Robin Williams. Apparently Robin Williams did about 14 hours of voice work, and, 60 minutes.
This is unheard of in animation at the time, but he improvised, really. They let him improvise so much that they animated the character around his voice, and he just improvised everything.
Literally, and the character, he transforms all the time into his jokes and gags hundreds of times, and it's just him. He's just Robin Williams. It's his most Robin Williams-y performance. This and Mrs. Doubtfire, but it's his most Robin Williams-y performance. Just his voices, his craziness, his zaniness, and it is amazing. If they ever remake Aladdin, whoever has to step into the shoes of Robin Williams, whoever has to step into the shoes of Robin Williams, they're gonna pay, no matter who it is, they're gonna pale in comparison, because Robin Williams is the master. No one has or will be better than him as being this character, genie.
They're remaking everything. You know who's directing the Aladdin remake?
Who?
Guy Ritchie.
Really? That's interesting.
So that will be interesting.
But no, this
it's already got a script.
John Musker too.
They're doing it.
The absolute legends. It's got such good music. I've got a song in my head, but I can't remember the lyrics. It's da 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 dee da da dee da da. Such a good song. There's such good songs in this. I can show you the world when they're flying on the magic carpet. It's an Indian princess, one of the very first ones unheard of, when all princesses, like males and females, apart from Mulan, which you said they were all white. But no, this is basically an Indian movie. Pretty much every single character. None of them are really white, which is actually something to be celebrated as well. But no, it's just such a great movie, such a great message. Kids should watch it. It's entertaining as all hell. Never a dull bit in the movie, never a slow bit. It's always so funny. Especially because, Robin Williams is in almost every scene, and he's just a riot. Such a good final confrontation, a fight, when Jafar captures the genie and makes him become a sorcerer, and he can just summon everything, and it's really heartwarming, and it's just such a great movie. Aladdin, easy 5 out of 5 for me. One of my favourite animated movies of all time. I love it. Jacob, what's your number 2?
They're remaking Snow White as well. They've remade
Snow White like 7,000 times.
Yeah, but the guys who wrote the songs for La La Land are doing the music for it, so that's cool.
Fair enough.
That'll be cool. Anyway, enough tangents, but seriously, they're remaking The Lion King as well. Speaking of which, my number 2 is The Lion King. Nice. It's been bloody young since I've seen this, as it is with most of them, but no, I love The Lion King. It's a fucking classic. It is it is like the ultimate heartbreaking kids movie, man, and you'll know what I'm talking about, buddy. Mufasa, whatever his fucking name is. Mufasa. Nah, I'm getting brutally murdered, and no, I love The Lion King. It's, again, I don't have a whole lot to say because it's been a while since I've seen it, but Timon and Pumbaa are the fucking man. The men. They're the men. Jeremy Irons is fantastic in this movie. The hyenas are bloody scary. Like, the villains are evil in this, which is really good, and it's a great movie about the animal kingdom. Simba's a good character. He's a little whiny and annoying at times when he's a kid, but no, The Lion King is a bloody classic. Now, Jaron, I will let you continue because I know you have some strong words about The Lion King.
Yep. My number one movie is The Lion King.
Because I know you.
It is, oh yeah, it's my favourite animated movie of all time. Bar none. The Lion King, absolutely amazing. It's the story of Shakespeare's Hamlet, basically. Matthew Broderick's so good. Jeremy Irons, as I said, Robin Williams is the best performance as a hero or good guy in animated movie of all time. Jeremy Irons would be the best performance for a villain in any animated movie of all time. He is so threatening, he's so scary, he's literally terrifying. He transcends onto the screen through his voice acting performance, and his character becomes terrifying. James L. Jones is the best person ever. If they're doing The Lion King, James L. Jones needs to be Mufasa again, because he has a thunderous voice. He has a voice with charisma. He has a voice you can look up to him, and it is absolutely, as you said, it is heartbreaking. You don't know him for too long when Mufasa goes alright. Yeah, alright, give me shit.
I've got you calling him Mustafa now.
When Mufasa, it's a hard name. When Mufasa, at least I know what it is. Anyway, when Mufasa goes down in that like 25-minute mark, even though you've only known him for that long, you can really feel their relationship. You know, they spend time building it for that first third of the movie, and it is absolutely heartbreaking when he's trying to get his dad back up, and he doesn't know he's dead. He's like, Dad, we gotta go, get up. And then to top it off, Jeremy Irons comes over as Scar, one of the most evil moments in any movie of all time. He tells Simba that it's his fault that his dad's dead, and he banishes Simba, and then sends the hyenas to go kill him. It is such a dark movie.
Yeah, that plot point and the death of Mufasa has been emulated by so many animated movies
iconic,
now. That similar storyline, character losing their father. Most recently, The Good Dinosaur did the exact same thing, and it was almost the exact. Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's not that much of a spoiler. You can see it coming, but it's almost the exact same death as well. Like falling into I think it's like a river or something, but he sort of falls off a cliff into the river and gets washed away or something. But yeah, that's not really a spoiler. It happens in the first 10 minutes. But yeah, no, it's been emulated so many times, and I'll let you continue.
Well, it is a spoiler, but I don't really care about The Good Dinosaur anyway, so I don't care.
Who cares? It's not even that good.
The songs, they're the best Disney songs
Good Dinosaur
in any Disney movie. You know, I just can't wait to be Hakuna Matata.
I have a personal hatred of Just Can't Wait to Be King, because I had to listen to my sister sing it for like a year period when she was a kid, and she was really bad.
It's an incredible song though. Like all the songs in this, even Mufasa's song. It's just incredible. Every single thing is on point. There's not a footstep wrong in this movie. I don't even think he is a bit whiny, but that's the point, you know. He sings a song about how he can't wait for his dad to die. He's just like he's meant to be this kid, you know, and he is whiny because he is a child and he doesn't know any better. And this is the ultimate coming of age movie as well. Literally, he comes of age, as you said, Timber and Pomone, the man, and it's just an amazing movie. I love it. Jacob, what's your number one?
All right,
3 out of 5 for me.
You want to guess? What do you think my number one is?
Oh, I'm gonna wreck it.
Jaron, my number one is actually Wreck-It Ralph. I'm sorry, it's not I'm Gonna Wreck It.
Oh, fuck,
you're wrong.
My bad.
Yeah, my number one's Wreck-It Ralph. You know, like, yeah, well, it's so modern, you know, it's not a classic. There are no songs in it. I love Wreck-It Ralph.
It is destined to be a classic.
I've watched it many times. It's it's one of the best video game movies that's not based on a video game, and those seem to be the only ones that people can do right. But no, I love this movie. It's an absolute blast from start to finish, and I can enjoy, kids love it, and I can enjoy this as an almost kind of adult. It's so much fun. That's it. Wreck-It Ralph is such a lovable character, but at the same time, he's flawed. He pushes people away sometimes, and he wants to be a good guy, but he's kind of doomed to be a villain, and it's about him learning to accept his role and everything. But there's this whole great story of him going to try and become a hero, not a villain, blah, blah, blah. He goes into that... The only part of the movie that falls flat for me is when he goes into the Call of Duty game. I didn't really like that part, but
it's a bit weird. It doesn't really go anywhere.
Yeah, but no, from when he goes into like the bloody racing game and he meets Vanellope, it is really, really great. The two develop this really, really great friendship. Sarah Silverman plays the character Vanellope with like just the right amount of annoyingness. She's annoying, but at the same time, she's also pretty endearing. And then Fix-It Felix, the guy. Now, a lot of movies would have had this character be like a douche, like, oh, I'm a hero, fuck you, Ralph.
He's a nice guy.
You're a loser. But Felix is a genuinely good guy, and he feels bad for Ralph, and the two end up sort of going on a bit of an adventure together as well. Doesn't he fall in love with the Call of Duty chick?
Jane Lynch, yeah.
Yeah. No. So I liked all the character dynamics in this are great, and the animations are absolutely gorgeous. The whole kart racing stuff and everything. And Wreck-It Ralph's my favorite. Say what you will. Yeah, it's not a classic, but I love it. It's so much fun, and I could go back and watch it whenever. And I'm so bloody excited for the sequel, Wreck-It Ralph. One day we should count down just our favorite animated movies, period. Now that is going to be a freaking shootout. Yeah, that is going to be brutal. I don't even know if Wreck-It Ralph would make my top 5. Probably not. But
neither.
But that's it for our animated movies list, and we're at an hour now, so it's a long show. We're probably gonna try and nut through this in less than 20 minutes, but we push on forward.
We're good at it.
Oh, we love nutting it out. So we religiously document every movie we watch, and this year we've been taking down every movie we have watched for the first time during this year, and since this year is over, we are each going to count down our top 10 favourite first-time watches. Top 10, the movies we liked the most that we saw.
All movies from any year that we watched for the first time.
So really, could be any movies, We've each got different stuff that we've seen, and there's a lot to choose from, but we're going to do it. I guess I'll go first for this one, but I'm going to count down my 10 through 6, and then he'll do his 10 through 6, and then we'll push on from there. But top 10 first-time watches of 2016. Now, I've got to do a couple honorable mentions because there are some really, really great movies that I miss out, and there are some 2016 movies here. Sing Street is up there for me. The Hateful Eight, which didn't come out till this year in Australia. Mummy, the Xavier Dolan film, that really, really hit me emotionally. Gran Torino, Clint Eastwood's one of my favorite Clint Eastwood movies, and I got to say Midnight in Paris. It's my favorite Woody Allen movie I've seen so far. I really, really loved it. It's one of my favorites I've seen for the first time this year. Now let's get into it. The top 10. My number 10 is J.C. Chandor's A Most Violent Year, starring Oscar Isaac and Jessica Chastain. Now, this came out in 2014. I missed it during that year, but I got the Blu-ray and I decided to check it out just on the basis that I'm a huge fan of the cast, Oscar Isaac especially, and Jessica Chastain's one of my favorite actresses working today, and you got David Oyelowo and people like that. But it's set in the 1981, which was statistically one of the most violent years in New York history, and he's this fuel supplier, and his fuel trucks keep getting robbed. And, there's this whole thing where his employees start trying to arm themselves. He's trying to make this big deal to buy this gas facility, and it all keeps going wrong. His loans keep falling through. And it's basically about a guy trying to keep his integrity, trying to stay honest and decent in a world full of corruption. And I really, really love that part of it. I thought Oscar Isaac's character, Abel, was absolutely fantastic, and you really, really feel his moral struggle the whole time. And then you've got Jessica Chastain as his wife. She's like a mobster's daughter, and she wants to kind of bend the rules a little bit. And yeah, it's like, what would you do in that that situation. You know, sometimes in business, it's really, really hard to stay clean. Sometimes you do have to do some shady stuff, but that's the most violent. Yeah, it's really, really good. I highly recommend checking it out. Great performances. My number 9 is 2016 movie Swiss Army Man. You're gonna hear me talk about it a lot more when we do our best movies of the year list, so you know I'll keep it short and sweet. But no, Swiss Army Man, people dismissed it as a movie about a fighting corpse because yes, Daniel Radcliffe plays a fighting corpse on this movie and Paul Dano is a guy washed up on an island, and yeah, people dismissed it as weird and gross and disturbing, but personally I love Swiss Army Man. It's one of the most endearing and inspiring movies I've seen this year. It's a movie about friendship. It's a movie about insecurity and learning to embrace your inner weird side, and it is wholly original and creative, and there is nothing else like it, and it is a fantastic movie. Number 8, my number 8 is Shutter Island, Martin Scorsese's movie. So underrated. I watched this and I'm like, holy shit, it blew me away. You've got Leonardo DiCaprio, you've got Mark Ruffalo, Boss,
Hey, boss.
and hey, Boss. Jackie O'Haley's in there for a little bit. John Carroll Lynch, a great character actor. Yeah, Michelle Williams, and of course Ben Kingsley is the guy sort of running the island and everything. But yeah, he's a U.S. Marshal, and he and Mark Ruffalo are going to investigate the disappearance of a patient from this mental hospital on this island. And but he starts having these, you know, strange visions and everything, and stuff starts to go awry. There's this whole backstory with his wife that's unraveled throughout the film, and it's a very, very dark movie. It's a mystery, and I was really wrapped up in the mystery. I couldn't tell where it was going to go next, and I was engaged from start to finish. It moved me, and I cannot fathom how this didn't get any Oscar nominations. I thought it was absolutely fantastic with a knockout performance from Leo DiCaprio. My number 7, oh, the twist, woo! My number 7 first time watch this year is another 2016 film, and it is Arrival. It's one of my favorite movies of the year. Yeah, I am a big lover of smart sci-fi. Denis Villeneuve, he is the man. I was hotly anticipating this, and it met my expectations. It's a really, really smart movie, which is great to see, and the more you think about it, the more you love it, and it has layers to it. And that's what I love about Amy Adams' performance in this as the lead. Her performance has layers. You watch it, and then when you watch it the second time, you see a whole new face of the movie, and you see things differently, and of course walking on eggshells, trying not to spoil anything. But no, Arrival is a really, really smart movie. It's beautifully filmed, gorgeous cinematography, the music is incredible, the ending I think is very, very moving, and I love that it's a film about trying to communicate with aliens, trying to communicate with them, not trying to start war with them. Ultimately it's an anthem about peace and encouraging humanity to work together, and I love that about Arrival. My number 6 is a Sidney Lumet film. I kind of vowed to myself to try and watch some more of his films because I was a huge fan of Before the Devil Knows You're Dead, which I saw a couple years ago, and I'm trying to go back. So Dog Day Afternoon is my number 6. Sidney Lumet, man, he is the man. I need to watch Network and all that sort of stuff. It stars Al Pacino, and honestly is one of the... He's one of the best performances I have ever seen in this movie as Sonny, this bank robber. Attica! Him and John Cazale are these two bank robbers, but they don't really know what they're doing. They're very jittery. They're very nervous. You know, the hostages kind of give them a bit of shit throughout it, and there's this whole thing. It's a sort of a real time movie. They're sitting there and they're negotiating with the police and everything. He starts getting crazier and crazier. The crowd start getting into him. He robs the bank to pay for his gay lover's operation. Sex change operation, yeah. And it turns into a big media crisis, and it's a great look at
we have to let the press know that only one of us are gay, man. I can't be seen as no homo on TV.
Yeah, it's like a look at how the media quickly changed the public's perception of like these heists, these events, and it has a great ending. John Cazale is also great in it. He was only in like 5 movies before he died, and like 3 or 4 of them were nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars. Like that's a pretty good batting average for him. But no, it's a fantastically paced movie, fantastically written, and yeah, Al Pacino is absolutely incredible. Jaron, you have the floor.
I second that. One of my favourite performances of this year. I saw it this year as well, and it's up there on mine, but not quite my 10. Anyway, I got some honourable mentions to throw out as well. I saw Take Shelter for the first time this year. This year I watched, all of his movies, Jeff Nichols' movies, and it's absolutely fantastic. My favourite one of his, Michael Shannon, incredible. Should have won the Oscar, let alone got a nomination, which is absolutely a travesty. It's recent, but La La Land is up there for me as as an honorable mention. I thought it was great. Rain Man, Tom Cruise, and Dustin Hoffman, one of my favourite supporting performances of all time. He is amazing as Rain Man, really endearing movie.
Kmart.
And Civil War. What can I say? I'm a fanboy. I love these movies. They're really close to me. They hit me in the heart, and this is my favourite one yet. And at number 10, we are going to go on to The Godfather. I watched this the first time. Yes, this is my opinion, so don't get angry that it's not my number one. But Francis Ford Coppola, The Godfather, 1972. It is absolutely amazing. It shows the epic tale of this 1940s New York mafia family, the Corleones, and they are so amazing. Marlon Brando, I'm going to say this a lot, but one of my favourite performances of all time. He's absolutely amazing as Vito Corleone. People give him shit now for the having balls in the bottom of his mouth to make his face puff out, but it is so great. He literally looks amazing because he was only like 40 playing this like 60-year-old. It is absolutely incredible. The featured songs in it are just absolutely incredible, and, I'm stealing this from Dan Merrill of Movie Fights, but they feel like they've been passed down. The score is amazing. It feels like a family movie, and it is, but it's an R-rated, heavy look at the Mafia. One of my favourite Mafia
family
movies
film, bring the kids to it.
I've ever seen. Yeah, definitely. And it's
I
just
still haven't
incredible,
seen it.
and it's their rivalry with other families, and, betrayal, stuff like that. It's incredible. Every film fan should watch it. Next, I have 1999's The Green Mile by Frank Darabont. Yes, I only saw this for the first time. Don't kill me. I absolutely loved it. Michael Clarke Duncan, incredible. Tom Hanks is amazing. Doug Hutchison, really good. Sam Rockwell pops in there for a bit. He's amazing too. Such a great movie about this Stephen King adaptation of, basically Michael Clarke Duncan is put on death row and he has magical powers. And it's a really heartwarming, endearing story about these people, and he cures people. And Tom Hanks, when he has like this nut infection, and Michael Clarke Duncan heals it, and he's like, it's so amazing. It's got a dark humor to it, but it is so good. It's a real gut punch to the end.
And
that end
if
scene,
you don't cry at the end, you don't have a heart.
You don't have emotions if you don't cry at the end, because that end is an absolute gut punch. One of the most intense, one of the most hardest to watch scenes I've ever seen in a movie. It is grueling to watch that end scene. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about, and if you haven't, you will. Next, I have 1992's A Few Good Men, directed by Rob Reiner, by the great Aaron Sorkin, who penned it. He also did the story. This was actually a play created by Aaron Sorkin, and then he wrote it for the screen. It is an incredible movie. It's Tom Cruise, Jack Nicholson, who only came in and filmed for about a week, but his performances, and he's only in like 3 scenes. He was nominated for Best Supporting Actor, though, because he is absolutely incredible in this. Basically, Tom Cruise is a lawyer, and his job is that he's amazing. He's the best in the business at getting plea bargains, and he's put up to defend these 2 people who have gone, and basically their colonel, they're in the army, their colonel has told them a code red. They're getting accused for a code red, which means colonel tells them to do something illegal, but they have to do it because their colonel told them to, and he's trying to prove if they did it or not, and these 2 people are really stubborn. Dark humor again, but really, a really great watch, riveting dialogue, fantastic movie, everyone should watch it. Next, I have now one of my favourite horror movies of all time, 1980's The Shining. That's right, basically this is number 7, and The Shining is by Stanley Kubrick, based off the story again by Stephen King. He has some really great adaptations, and some not good ones. Anyway, Shelley Duvall, incredible, one of the best female performances in cinema. Jack Nicholson as Jack Torrance, incredible. It's a really long watch, but it pays off, man. And it has one of the scariest end shots I've ever seen, when it goes to the photo back from the 30s, because this is set in like the 80s, and when it shows that photo from the dinner party at the 1920s, and basically Jack Nicholson or Jack Torrance is in there just giving his creepy smile, that is absolutely horrifying. Like, it is haunting. An incredible movie. I love it. And next, I have, surprisingly, when you said your number 6 was a Sidney Lumet movie, I was like, what? But I actually have a different one. I have 12 Angry Men. Another courtroom drama.
Yeah, boy.
I love courtroom dramas. We talked about this before. It's 90 minutes of pure dialogue. It's the classic story now of 12 people go in there. 11 of them instantly think that this because it's about a black man accused of murder? I think it's a black man accused
Puerto
of
Rican.
murder. And
Puerto Rican kid.
Yeah, that's right. All 12 people think he's guilty except one, and he slowly convinces every single other one who are just blinded by racism and stuff like that, like their thoughts and their ideologies. And he basically, it's such a heartwarming story. I'm liking it even more as I'm talking about it. He starts showing them the facts. You can't just be blinded by your ideology and stuff like that. You have to look at the facts. This is a person's life that is on the line. It changed everything. It changed cinema, the way screenplays are written. It is an amazing movie. Jacob, do you want to go on to your number 5?
Alrighty, I'm going to do my number 5 to number 2, and then Jan will do the same. My number 5 is another investigatory sort of drama movie, and that is Spotlight, one of my favourite 2015 films, but I didn't get to see it until January this year. But no, I absolutely adored Spotlight. I've seen it a few times now, and I think this film is perfect. In its execution, I don't think it puts a single foot wrong. There isn't a moment of filler. There isn't a line that's wasted, and it shows the utmost respect to the story, and it's not afraid to tell the full story. And I absolutely loved it. It's about this group of Boston Globe journalists who broke the scandal of child molestation all over Boston and all over the country eventually in the Catholic Archdiocese, in the world. Oh, and the credits, they show like all the places in the world where priests have been accused of child molestation. It's like, whoa, that is a lot of places. But no, the cast are on point. One of the best ensemble casts you've ever seen. Michael Keaton, Mark Ruffalo. Mark Ruffalo's been in 2 of my top 10. Rachel McAdams is great. Liev Schreiber is great playing against type. John Slattery, Stanley Tucci, Brian Darcy James, Billy Crudup. Everyone is really, really good in this movie. It's perfect. The musical score is incredible. The acting, man, towards the end when they all start sort of looking at their own faith and everything. And Mark Ruffalo, when he starts to get so mad towards the end, when he sees like the little kid singing, and he's just like shh, and he just like shudders, and that final shot. When he goes off, he's like, it could have been you, it could have been me, it could have been any of us, because all these guys were growing up in the same area when all these other people who are now coming out got molested. No, it's just a really, really great telling of a true story, and it's a very, very important film, I think.
It deserved the best picture.
While it wasn't my favourite film of 2015, it was my number 2, and I fully think it deserved that Best Picture win. My number 4 is another investigatory sort of drama. I like him, and it's one you've already talked about. It is 12 Angry Men. I'm a big fan of Sidney Lumet. I liked it a little better than Dog Day Afternoon. I watched this for the first time a few months ago. And no, it is so good. It is fantastic. I have not watched many
riveting.
films.
It's all dialogue, and it's riveting. There's not a boring moment in it.
Yeah.
Hey?
I honestly have not watched many films before 1960, and this movie, I feel like this movie changed the game, really. It feels like a modern movie. It feels like something Aaron Sorkin would have written. The screenplays out there, and what I love is there's 12 of these guys. Each character is defined. None of them are named. They're all like Juror 1, Juror 2. But like, you watch the movie, and as the movie goes on, you really know each character and where their head's at, you know?
There's internal conflict in all 12 characters. It's incredible.
And like, it's like an hour and a half long movie. It's a short movie, and in that time, you know every character and what they stand for and what they're about. And obviously, the one guy standing up and trying to change all their minds. And as they slowly look at the case analytically and think, look, this is a human's life. We need to really think about this, because half of them just want to go home and everything. And then that scene when the last guy breaks down and before he changes his mind, he's like, "Not guilty." That is amazing.
Powerful.
The performances are incredible. Henry Fonda is fantastic as the guy trying to change everyone's minds, and it is incredible. 12 Angry Men. Where has it been all my life? My number 3 is 2016 movie. You'll probably hear me talk about this a lot in the coming months, but it is La La Land. This movie it changed my life, man. It's... you've all heard about it. It's a musical by Damien Chazelle. We talked about it earlier in the show. It's an old school type musical mixed with modern Hollywood, and it's an upbeat, whimsical movie but that's also drenched in melancholy and realism, and it stars Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone, and they are great. They are this couple. They're both aspiring artists. She wants to be an actress. He wants to be a jazz musician, and he is a jazz musician, but he wants to own his own club. He's just scraping by playing gigs at cocktail parties and shitty bars. But, they form a relationship. It's so cute. The two have so much chemistry. The scene where they really, really click when they sing A Lovely Night by the Lamppost, and they're dancing. It is straight out of Singing in the Rain. And like Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. This movie made me want to watch musicals, because I went into this not really liking musicals, and it made me want to go back and watch a lot of old musicals, because this movie absolutely floored me. It's emotional. It takes you on so many highs and lows. It's a salute. It's a salute to those crazy people who move out to LA and follow their dreams, and Damien Chazelle was one of those crazy people, and he just wants to pay tribute to that, and I think it's a really, really beautiful movie that should be experienced by everyone, and I can't wait to watch it many, many more times. My number 2, this is hard. This is not far off of number 1, but this is one of my all-time favourites now that I watched for the first time earlier in the year, and it is The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford, directed by Aussie Andrew Dominic. It's been on my radar for a little while, but I never really bothered watching it because I'd never really heard much about it, and the title was a little off-putting. But having watched the movie, the title is perfect. It sums up the movie perfect. But it stars Brad Pitt as Jesse James, Casey Affleck as Bob Ford. This kid, he's idolized Jesse James. He tries to start getting involved with his gang, and the movie's basically the embodiment of the phrase "never meet your heroes." And Bob starts to grow jealous of Jesse and everything, and he ends up getting entangled with the feds, and he finds an opportunity to kill James, and there's that whole plot. But Sam Rockwell's great in this as his brother. Everybody's great. Everybody comes to play. I think Paul Schneider was really good in it. Garrett Dillahunt, Zoe Deschanel's in it, but I think she had a lot of scenes cut because she's not in it much, because the movie's like 2 hours and 40 minutes long, but apparently the original cut was like 4 hours or something, and what I wouldn't give to see that cut. But no, The Assassination of Jesse James is like it's like an anti-Western. It's very contemplative. It's very reflective. It's mostly dialogue driven. There's not a whole lot of action, and I can't do it justice by explaining it. This is a movie that has to be seen. I think it's riveting every step of the way. Every one of the bloody 160 minutes that it is. I think this movie is absolutely incredible. There's one shot when they're robbing a train at the start. Roger Deakins cinematography, one of the most beautiful shots. That shot feels like something cinema was invented for. And the performances are great. This is an incredible, incredible movie that is so underrated by so many people, and you need to watch it. I've got one more to go, but Jaron, give us your 5 to 1.
Alright, my number 5 is Orson Welles' Citizen Kane. This is the first time I ever watched this. I'm a movie fan, and I need to see the greats, so I put this on, and it is incredible. You said before that Goodfellas is like the Wolf of Wall Street. This is like the Wolf of Wall Street. It's like The Social Network. A guy creates this thing. He's basically an entrepreneur. He owns this business. He thrives up. Everyone loves him. They know he's Citizen Kane, the Great Kane, and basically he fucks over all his friends, and he becomes it's just that classic story, but told so well, and it has that iconic moment. Rosebud, who is just searching for, is an empty man, even though he's got everything in the entire world. It's such a great watch. It changed cinema, the way how plots progressed and stuff. So it's up there, because this is my best list. It's up there for that as well, because of how much influence it has, and you can just tell it's a classic by watching it. It just gives off that vibe. It's incredible. Number 4, I actually have one that was one of your honorable mentions. Quentin Tarantino's The Hateful Eight. I love The Hateful Eight. It is so fun. 3 hours long. It was in 70mm.
And not a boring second.
Not a boring second. It's all dialogue and some awesome action sequences. You know, more N-words than in any movie you've ever heard.
I don't know that nigger, but I know he's a nigger.
It's actually, I don't know that nigger, but I know that nigger's a nigger. But anyway, I apologize for saying that because I'm white as they come. Anyway, it is an incredible movie.
So is Quentin.
It is, well, yeah. It's probably it's probably the script with the most N-words ever written by a white person. But no, it is amazing, and all these characters, all these 8 characters are defined. You know them, you know their personality, you know what they like to wear, you know what they eat for breakfast by the end of this movie. You know all these characters so well. They're all fleshed out. It is so fun. The way it's directed, like the flashback sequences in it, it is so fun, and I love it. Number 3 is one you talked about earlier.
Jaron, can I just say, I tried to look up what movie has the most N-words in it. I think it's Django Unchained.
Really? I would not be
surprised. It's got over 100.
I would not be surprised at all. Anyway, my number 3 is one we've already talked about, and it is Martin Scorsese's Goodfellas. This jumped at me and grabbed me and sucked me in, unlike it did for you, unfortunately. I loved it. I was invested in the story, invested in these characters. It is so great. Joe Pesci, one of, if not my favorite, supporting performance of all time. What, you think I'm a funny guy? You think I amuse you? I'm a small fella, hey, but you think I'm funny? It is amazing, expertly crafted. It's a combination of expertly crafted, and I love the story, and I love the characters, and it is just so good, and it's so funny. It is an incredible movie. And my number 2 is what is now my favorite action movie of all time. I am so glad I watched it. I've watched it like 3 times since I've watched it, and it is James Bond Casino Royale. You know what? After I watched this, I watched all of the James Bond movies, all of the Craig ones anyway. None of them did anything to me like Casino Royale did. I watched it the first time, I thought it was good, and then I immediately watched it after, and I thought it was great, and I've watched it so much time since. I've actually watched it like 5 times this year. It's my most. I've actually forgot that I didn't log it once or a couple times, but it is amazing. It's like 2.5 hours. It is a slog, but not for me. I enjoy every second. It passes by like a 90-minute movie. He is this amazing character. There's this internal conflict. We talk about how heroes need to take a second to, when they're hurt, they're down. Heroes need to get beaten up. This guy is amazing. There's a full 5-minute scene dedicated to him washing the blood off himself, taking off his clothes because they're all scraped up, and then he goes and sits in the bathroom in a non-sexual way with this Bond girl in quotation marks in the shower, fully clothed. It is such a heartbreaking scene. I cry in this movie at the Vesper scene at the end every time. It's so heartbreaking to watch. I go through all emotions watching this movie. I laugh. I'm amazed by James Bond. The action sequences, that first one, the fast running scenes, all of the scenes in this movie are. I would pay massive amounts of money to see this in the cinema. It is absolutely incredible. The score is incredible. All of the characters are amazing. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. This is a movie that hits. This is in my top 15 movies of all time now. I love it. I want to watch it again right now talking about it. Jacob, what's your number 1?
Alright, Jaron, let's talk about emotions. My number 1 is actually a 2015 movie, and it's a movie that I've watched 7 times this year since I watched it for the first time in February, and that movie is Room. Room is the story. It's based on a novel by I can't even recall her name right now, the writer of the novel. I have read it. I read the novel after I watched the film. Emma Donoghue. I read the novel after I watched the film. It's fantastic. It's entirely written from the kid's perspective, but it's the story of Jack, a young 5-year-old boy who has lived his entire life in one room because his mother, played in a brilliant performance by Brie Larson, has been kidnapped and locked in there for 7 years, and this sick bastard, locks her in there and, basically has her as a sex slave, and it's horrible, really. And but this movie isn't your typical movie like this. It takes it in a direction you don't expect. And, the first half of the movie, we're in the room, and it's this kid's entire world. And I love the way the director, Lenny Abrahamson, frames the whole room. They built an actual room, and then they had removable walls and stuff so they could get panels. And the way they shoot it really shows how it feels like the whole world to this kid. And it's really, really good. And all these little dingy, they're disgusting spoon. It's like wonderful to him, and he makes up all these imaginations about his imaginary dog, and and then but Brie Larson, eventually has to try and show him, look, there's a whole world out there, and we have to fucking find it. And there's a scene when they try to escape from the room, and it is one of the most intense. It was more intense than any scene in an action or a suspense or horror film that I saw last year, and it is white knuckle stuff, and like it is insane. And this is a movie it's peppered with optimism. Ultimately, it's a movie about this kid experiencing the world for the first time. And when most movies like this would end when you escape and it's all sunshine and rainbows, this movie shows that sometimes it's not all sunshine and rainbows after you get out of the room. You know, she suffers from PTSD and stuff like that, and this movie absolutely ripped my heart into a million pieces and then put it back together again and then just ripped it apart again. Jacob Tremblay is absolutely phenomenal in this, bar none the best performance I've ever seen from a child actor. I will now watch everything that kid does, except maybe Shut In, that looks like garbage. But no, he was absolutely incredible in it. The two had a great relationship. Yeah. Brie Larson, who's quickly becoming one of my favourites after Short Term 12, she outdoes herself in this, very deservedly won the Oscar. Lenny Abrahamson does a fantastic job directing her. I read this letter that he wrote to Emma Donoghue, begging her to let him write the novel and showing that he really, really understood it.
Write the novel.
And it's right, direct the movie, shut up. But no, the novel's really, really great too, and it's a really great adaptation. Obviously, they had to leave some stuff out, but no, what can I say? This movie, dude, I've seen it 7 times. I still cry like a bitch every time I watch it. You know, I'm not ashamed. No, I think it's a beautiful, beautiful movie, and it's not as depressing and dark as you'll think when you look at it. It will leave you feeling warm inside. That's my number one first time watch, Room. It is in my top 10 favourite films ever.
Yeah, I'm about to tell you my number one, which is also in my top 10. And, you know, I said that Spotlight deserved the Oscar, and it did, but so did this movie, another 2015 movie after Room, The Revenant. I think people have turned on The Revenant right now, for some reason. I'm not sure why, but I think this is the perfect movie. It has the best cinematography I've ever seen in a movie, bar none. It is expertly crafted, and by expert I mean there is nothing they could have done better. It feels like you're out in the wilderness with these characters, these pelters who are just getting pelts to go back and earn money, and Leonardo DiCaprio is there to basically guide him through the woods, and one morning he's out getting breakfast and he gets mauled by a bear. Literally, that is one of the most intense scenes I've ever seen in my life, when he gets that bear scene, when he gets mauled by a bear and they basically kill each other. And everyone finds him, and he's got a wound all up his back, his Ted. He's got a wound through his neck. It just missed his jugular, but an open neck wound.
That makeup was phenomenal.
Open body wound. Oh yes, definitely. Open every single place on his body was basically wounded and bleeding out like hell. And it's a true story too. And it is incredible he didn't die from this. Like, it is literally astounding, staggering how he didn't die from this. But no, he did it. And basically, they left him for dead. Well, basically, 2 people were in charge. Tom Hardy played one of my favorite movie villains. After seeing this, is played by Tom Hardy. What's his name? Ronald? No, R. Is it? Who is it? It's
Wait, who are you? What are you on? Fitzgerald?
Yeah, Fitzgerald, yes. Fitzgerald, and Fitzgerald and this other kid, Eyebrows Kid from Where the Millers, get told to basically... they get told to look after him, and Eyebrows Kid gets used by Tom Hardy, and they basically leave him for dead, and he comes back, and he doesn't come back to life, but basically crawls his way out of his grave after something's happened to him personally that I won't spoil, and he hunts down Tom Hardy. It's the ultimate revenge movie. It's about life. There is beautiful cinematography, and sorry, I've already said that, but in these scenes where he's picturing his wife, he's picturing all these manifestations about life, about revenge, about his destiny, about what he's destined to do, his journey. He goes on this massive journey running from people. The horse scene is incredible. Every single scene in this is a piece of art, framed to perfection. You've heard all the stories about how he ate real liver and stuff, and that's not the reason he got the Oscar. The reason he got the Oscar is because he committed to this part, and he was staggering. He was absolutely moving in this performance, and Tom Hardy fully deserved his as well. It's funny story. Tom Hardy actually has a tattoo on his leg that says "Leo is always right," because they had a bet. Leo said he would get Oscar nominated for it. Tom Hardy said no way, and he got Oscar nominated for it. He didn't even count campaign, and so now he has a tattoo on him that says Leo is always right. Leo would have had the one that said Tom is always right if he was wrong, but no, he was right, and it is incredible. The Revenant, one of the best films I've ever seen. I watched this twice in a row, maybe even 3 times in a row at the cinema without seeing anything in between, because it blew me the fuck away. The Revenant, please, if you haven't seen it, please watch it, and don't go on your phone. Please pay attention to it. Take in all of this. I guarantee you'll be glued to the screen, and you will want to watch more and more and more. One of my favorite movies of all time.
It's probably in my top 5 best cinematography in any movie ever.
It's staggering how good the
gorgeous
cinematography
looking.
is.
Emmanuel Lubezki is a genius. All right,
that's the show.
That'll be the show then. That'll be the show.
Yeah. So thanks for listening. Everyone has to rant and talk about
a bit
movies
long, but
that you probably haven't seen for hours.
if anyone's still here, thank you. We appreciate you.
We love you.
We really do appreciate you. Anyone who listens, anyone who subscribes, definitely subscribe if you enjoyed it.
Chuck a like and a comment
on Facebook.
Oh yeah, we'll leave that.
The two of us run a Facebook group called Indie Movie Discussions, where people can just come together and discuss movies and everything. And we're currently doing our year-end awards. We've got a bunch of polls up, so join the group, vote on those polls. You know, what are some of your favorite movies of the year and stuff like that. And join us. Check us out on Letterboxd.
We'll leave them below if you want to read more about our lists. We got lists for everything. I've got like 40 lists, but now the ones at the top are like my first watches 2016, my favorite movies of 2016, stuff like that.
If you want to know if you want to know my worst first time watch of the year, it's Dirty Grandpa, same as my worst movie of 2016.
Fuck Dirty Grandpa. Anyway, basically, I've got a new video up about. It's basically, I said it before. It's a movie night, just random watching The Conjuring. I'll probably have some movie reviews soon. I'm going to see Why Him soon. I love James Franco, love Cranston. Hoping for good things. We'll have to see. If you want to see Jacob's top 10 worst movies of all of the year, go to Inside Jacob's Mind. I'll plug that for you. Great video.
That is my main channel.
It's your second main channel.
Yeah, I mean, it's my solo channel that I've had for a couple years, but, I do a lot of stuff on there. So, yeah, go subscribe to me there, I guess. There's a lot more movie-related content there as well. All right, that's enough plugging. That's Children of Film signing out.
Thanks
Stay classy,
watching,
San Diego.
And we will see you. Fuck you,
San
Diego.
Go fuck yourself, San Diego.
Santiago, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Good show.
Santiago, Amy Santiago, totally sex tape. Okay, goodbye.
Watch it. Brooklyn Nine-Nine on Netflix now.